So
Yo,
yeah, new year, new season. Two man's got their kits, one man still doesn't. Same old shit,
Wow.
just a
Still on
different
yo,
year.
this.
Laurent.
Still on this. Like, come on, man. Come on.
You know,
Let's let bygones be bygones, as they say. Let's turn over a new leaf, as they say. You know what I mean? So, like, we're bringing yesterday's problem to today.
well, if yesterday problem hasn't been solved, of course it's gonna carry over to today.
Like retweet word for word out what I was
Mhm.
gonna say.
Wow. Wow.
What's the CJ? What's the definition of insanity?
Wow.
Uh,
Doing the same
Wow.
thing over and over again, expecting a
I
different
like that.
result.
I
Wow.
like that.
Saying I should forward that quote to Arteta, eh? Before the
I
season
love it.
starts.
I
You know
fucking
what?
love it. You know
Yeah, word.
why? Because it doesn't even apply because this man, instead of being insane and doing the same thing over and over again, he went and got a striker.
Oh, geez. Now, ah! The Arsenal fans are out, eh? Like, all right, you know what? I actually want to. I'm curious now to hear what
Listen,
you guys have
the
predicted.
target's on our back all year. All these little fucking mandem sitting in like 17th, 18th spot being like Arsenal's gonna finish second, they're gonna lose to United, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. You know what? What if we lose to United game one? It's game one. You really think that we're gonna lose the title in game one? All these people are waiting for the downfall. Listen, when you're a big team, everyone has a target. Everyone's pointing the gun at you. Chelsea, of course, wouldn't understand that because they're not a big team. Man City wouldn't
Wait,
understand that
boss.
because they're not a big team. Liverpool, maybe they understand that.
Yo,
United definitely understand that because they're the fucking, we wipe the floor with them year in and year out. But,
now
small clubs like you know,
this
and then
guy
you got
said
another small
small.
club that it was 2-0, 80th minute, and they
Ah,
fucking, you know, and
small.
Postecoglou said, "Oh, we're gonna try to not be Spursy."
Oh,
And you know what, Daniel Levy, I thank you. I admire you for firing him because your dumbass behavior made Spurs continue to be Spursy. You're up 2-0, 20 minutes, but you can get a new manager. You can give him all the hubba bubba in the world, and he can chew it like a cow, but it doesn't take the Spursy out of Spurs. But yes, what would you like to respond to the small club?
listen, I don't understand where you're coming with that small, like small club. We currently have the only trophy to ever be won by said club. You know what I mean? Like no one else has the
Because
trophy
it was
that we
just
won.
changed, and the other teams that won it, they took it away.
And who do we beat? Who did we beat to win that? Who do we
You
beat?
you guys beat PSG
Okay.
in a
Let's-
preseason competition that the best teams in the
It,
world were not in it.
wait. PSG, a small club?
I said all big
Man
clubs
City,
were not.
Man City was in there.
Yes, but
Yeah.
you have
Bayern was in
Saudi
there.
Arabia teams. You don't have a representative from
Bro, yo, that well, whatever was it Al Hilal, bro? The Al Hilal team would give you guys a run for your money, bro. I'm telling you that right now. That same Al Hilal team that went against Man City, they would give you guys a run for your
would
money. So
not
don't
give
try
us.
to
They would not give us a run for our
yeah,
money.
they would, bro. Yeah, they
Oh
would, man.
my God.
Yo, listen, until you guys actually win something at this point, I can't like. There's no banter for us, bro. What can you really say, bro?
But you know what the funny part is?
Yeah,
If there truly is no banter, then why are you triggered?
no, it's just I'm surprised, bro. Like I'm almost offended at this point. You know what I mean? It's like the audacity. That's what really gets me, bro. You're right. I am triggered at the audacity of you to even like talk like this to a club who has performed. We performed. You know what I mean? Like if we lost, okay, sure, you can give us, but yo, Conference League aside, because I know you don't like that. But then we
You
did
would,
it,
if we had won Conference League, you would say the same thing.
man. We already been through this, man. We already been through this. The context of the club, like we had a whole podcast discussing this, right? And I even
Yes.
told, yeah, I even mentioned this in person. I don't know if CJ was there, but after our men's league game, right? And I was telling the rest of the guys, like, nah, man, I would have. The team went through like truly a period of right of downturn. Nah, like, bro, like let them build, bro. Even Man U, where they're at, let them build. Scream, get your wins. right? Those get your confidence up, and then you come back, right, to compete for the big things, right? So, ah man. But until further notice, no, I can't. I don't want to hear it. This is to everyone at home. Leave Chelsea out of it. Until we actually like fuck up, like bad, like we get back to how we were, right? Like the Graham Potter days, the Lampard days, right? Managing the team and whatnot, bro. I don't want to hear anything Chelsea related. The team deserves respect at this point in time, and you guys know it.
How you doing, CJ?
Oh man, I'm just amped. I see all this chat and everything that's going on, man. I'm just happy that the Prem is back, bro. Like this is the kind of shit that I
Mm.
like, bro. We're just back to having these regular conversations, debates, fans going at it. And for the big six clubs, I truly believe, a little bit teaser into our predictions and my predictions, but for the top six clubs in the Premier League, like or the traditional big six, I think it's really going to be like back on. Like it's going to be a competitive year. I think that all the big
Yeah.
six have made big moves this summer. Like pretty much all the big six have revamped like their attacking lineups. With new strikers, new attacking players. Like they've really gone ham. This off season. And so I think like yeah, it's just going to create a bit of banter, and fire, I guess, between all the big clubs in the Premier League again. Because let's be honest, like last season, the quality of the Premier League dropped significantly. And that was across the board, like across all teams, and not to take anything away from Liverpool's win. Um, but yeah, like it wasn't a great season last year, right? Liverpool ran away with it, and they were the most consistent team, but everyone else pretty much underperformed, right? Obviously, two of the big six clubs finished in close to the relegation zone. Arsenal wasn't at their best, Chelsea wasn't at their best, City wasn't at their best. So I just think this year's going to be different. I think it's going to be a competitive year again, and all the big clubs are going to be going at it. Um, and yeah, we're going to get stuck into it, of course, but I can't wait to see what's going to happen with this one.
Yes, sir. Back again. Um, 35 episodes, fellas. 30 freaking 5 episodes. Um, this was a conversation that we had at the bar that turned into reality.
Mm-hmm.
35 in. Um, we always tease it towards the end, but
Can't stop, won't stop. No
yeah,
Diddy.
pause. Why would you hold on? What made you go with that verse, dog?
Can't stop, won't stop, bro. Because it speaks, it speaks to what we're doing here, bro. Can't stop, won't stop.
Why did you have to? Anyways, um, anyways,
I rate it.
I didn't even fucking know what I was gonna say, but we always tease it towards the end. But we genuinely appreciate every single one of you that listen, that support us, that give us shout outs. It means a lot. We're here for you. Um, we're just here to have a good time and make fun of Laurent and his fucking blanket and his jerseyless outfits and
There's no blanket this time, by the way.
I know you're wearing a long sleeve though. It's fucking like 27 degrees outside, bro.
Yo, listen, I swear at this point, bro, we're probably living in like two different countries or like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
We're like 30 minutes away from each other. It can't be that much different.
Hey, man.
Anyways, let's get going. Let's get cracking. As always, joined by my co-host, my brothers, Laurent Piana,
Yo.
one and only. And who could fucking forget the coach? The motherfucking coach. He's trying not to crack a smile. He's trying to keep that mean mugging face. Sooner or later, he's gonna burst out into a big laughter. He's 6'7". He's light skinned. He's
Holy.
Carabana Mandem. CJ.
Bro, this guy gave me an NBA WWE introduction. Like,
Did you
I'm
not
just
ask
waiting
for
for
this
him to
last
the red
pod?
carpet and go, yeah. All the fans start like, going crazy. Like that was a
Bro,
wild introduction.
I swear you asked for that last pod.
Did I?
You did. You said, "Oh, when am I gonna get my own,
Oh,
intro?"
I actually remember that. Yeah,
No, no.
word.
I was saying I need like my own ad libs. Like how Laurent's got like the yo. I need a
Yeah,
little
but
something.
but you're coach. Coach doesn't just need a yo Laurent. Coach needs like a little, boost so I can, be in the good books, get some playing time.
Jeez, jeez. Well, I would give you some playing time if you were showing up and attending on Sunday, but
Hey,
let's
hey,
not
hey,
talk
hey,
about
hey,
let's not
hey,
talk
hey,
about
hey.
that. That's fine.
Listen, listen, I'll put it this way. When you have a kid, you'll understand.
Jeez, one of them ones. Man's throw the kid one on us. The kid
Is it
bombshell.
true? Because I will still be sitting there watching, and I'll probably fuck up because I do the DJ for them, and I'll play their walk-up music. I'll probably be fucking it up because I'll be watching the game if I'm not there. Um. Anyways, enough about me. Arsenal,
Is back.
big one of the I would say arguably the biggest game of the weekend. Arguably the biggest game of the weekend facing United. Um, huge talking points. It almost seems like whoever wins or loses this game, the weight that's going to be on the shoulders of that manager or that team is going to carry for a few weeks, right? Sesko versus Gyökeres, Arteta versus Amarim, you know, is 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 the $200 million spending spree of both clubs, who did it better? Is Bruno Fernandes staying the right move? Is that front three of Sesko, Cunha, and Buemo a real front three, or is it, two players that were in relegation fighting teams and Cunha with Wolves, and yeah, maybe Brentford wasn't, but they were a mid-table team. Like, are they ready for the weight of the Manchester United jersey, right? Um, and then Gyökeres. Is it truly going to be Gyökeres that starts, right? Um, because we know Arteta likes to do some funny business. I think he's going to go with Gyökeres, but there's a lot of talking points. I'm just going to sit back, let CJ kind of run with this. Yeah, a lot of talking points, man.
Mm. Yeah, we have a lot to get through, a lot to cover. So, this preview, I'll kind of make it short and sweet with what I'm thinking going into this game. But here's the bottom line: like United has done what United has done in terms of their summer activity. They've revamped their front line. They're still in talks with whether they get certain players over the line. They've still been in talks with some big players across Europe, like Donnarumma. They've been linked with. They're looking at Baleba currently from Brighton,
Yep.
right? So they're still trying to be ambitious in the market. And they revamped their front three. Now, is that enough to get them back into European conversations and European places? Not sure, because they needed more surgery than just their attack, right? Like they're still not the greatest defensively, in my opinion. Their midfield still has questions.
Their
You have like
keeper.
yeah, exactly, right. There's still a lot of question marks around United. What's going to help them this season is the fact that they play once a week. They're not in Europe, so they play once a week, so they'll be a lot fresher than a lot of other clubs. Um, but that being said, yeah, of course, they're fans and clearly they're players. Like, it made me laugh. I think I sent you guys this in the group chat earlier this summer. But when Luke Shaw was saying things like they genuinely believe that they can win the Premier League, like, let's just calm down a little bit.
Who said
But
that?
Luke
Yeah,
Shaw,
get
Oh,
get on the field first.
yeah, literally, yeah, get out of the hospital bed and get
Yeah,
onto the pitch first
you
before
know,
you
run a
start
couple of
chatting.
sprints before you pull your hamstring, and then we'll talk.
but hey, man, you were the one that said that every pro should be thinking like that. Everyone should be thinking that they can win the league, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. But it doesn't mean if you come and say that in public, I'm not going to banter you about it because you just finished 15th. So I'm still going to give you shit. But he has the right mentality, right? Whether they can speak it into existence is another thing. But all that being said is yeah, like all jokes aside, this is not obviously Man U who finished 15th last season. They're going to come with fresh energy. This is going to be a clean slate for them. They're going to treat it as such, right? We all start off with 0 points, so whether we finished you know double digits in terms of places ahead of them in the league, or double digits and double them in points, that was all last season. Now this is a new season, right? And again, narratives, right? The striker debate, Sesko versus Gyökeres. It had to be, of course, like this is basically the social media derby, Man U versus Arsenal, because we have two of the biggest fan bases in the world, right? We both, three of us actually, we all have a lot of, Man U pals and friends and brethren. We also have, all of us know a lot of Arsenal fans and friends and brethren and all that. Like Arsenal and United both have massive fan bases around the world, so it's such a bragging rights game where whoever wins or loses is not going to hear the end of it for a while. Once upon a time,
Mhm.
this was the biggest game in the Premier League in the Wenger versus Ferguson era, right? Um, this is a massive game. Two of the biggest clubs in the world. Like I said, big fan bases, big energy, and now with the additional narratives with the striker debate, like it's gonna make it that much more enticing. So All that being said, though, for me, I'm still under the impression that yes, this is a clean slate, and we all start off with 0 points to start the season. Arsenal still needs to be winning this game because
Oh,
let's be honest,
100%.
yeah, we have ambitions in this season to win the Premier League. Um, and so we need to be going into this game for 3 points. Once upon a time, going to Old Trafford, it's like, I'll be happy with a point. I'll be happy not to get beat. I'll be happy not to get demolished. This is a different Arsenal. Arsenal United are both in two different stages of their phases as a club, as rebuilds. And Arsenal needs to go into this game and get 3 points. That's what I'm expecting. Like, if you handed me a draw now, I'm not taking it. I'm saying we
Draw
need
is a
3.
loss.
Yeah,
A draw is a loss.
yeah,
Where we're at and where they are at, and albeit they have made some good signings, a draw is a loss.
yeah. Yeah, no,
So
absolutely. So I just want to quickly state what I think is going to be the starting 11, and I'll ask you boys and you, Mehrdad, what you think or how you would want to line up. But I quickly want to say that I think, obviously we're going to keep most of the structure of last season.
mhm.
Obviously, Raya will be in goal. The back line is going to be interesting, actually, because do we go with a Miles Lewis Skelly, which I don't think he's had the greatest of preseasons. Do we go with the Calafiori because Calafiori has been playing a lot in preseason and been playing well, but we know what Calafiori offers attacking wise, but we know he can be a little bit suspect defensively because he leaves spaces open when he goes forward. So how do we line up at fullback? For me personally, and I think what Arteta might actually do is I think we're going to go back four of Ben White right back because he's done well in preseason and he's showing that he's fully fit again. Saliba and Gabriel, and I think we're going to go Timber left back. Um,
Wow.
I do believe that. Yeah, he experimented with that last game against Bilbao when he in the second half when he made some changes.
Yeah.
He swapped Timber over to left back because, and I think there was a reason for that because we've seen that in games when the opposition has a dominant attacking player that likes to cut in on their left foot, aka Mo Salah, he'll play Timber and in the past previously
Tomiyasu.
Tomiyasu on that side to nullify that threat of a left winger coming inside. And Buemo's dangerous. Like let's respect him. 20 goals last season for Brentford. He's a, he's a quality player. And I think the reason why Arteta did that experiment last game, the preseason, to put Timber in left back and give him some minutes there was, with this game in mind. I think that we will do that because, again, like I said, Mbuemo is dangerous and we need to be mindful of him. I think we're going to go with a little bit of a defensive structure and have Timber at left back, Benny Blanco right back, and Gabby and Saliba center backs. I think we'll start with the midfield three that we all kind of expect to be the midfield three for the season, which is Rice, um, Zubimendi, and Odegaard.
Yep.
And then front three. The front three is another interesting topic. Saka's going to start on the right. There's no doubt about that. On the left, I think we will still start with Martinelli.
Yeah.
And I hope, I say this more in hope than expectation. I hope we start with Big Victor Gyökeres up front as opposed to Havertz. We know Arteta loves Havertz, but I think, again, Havertz just coming off of a recent injury and Gyökeres having two back-to-back games under his belt and having scored last game, I think that should give him just enough of the edge to get the starting spot. He'll be hungry as well, right? So I think that's what we'll line up with. I don't know what your thoughts are.
I agree with everything aside from I think Timber's going to be on the right. I think Calafiori is going to be on the left, and I think Gyökeres is going to start. And I think if if he does go with the lineup that you say,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it'll be Martinelli. I think it'll be Madueke because he'll have Timber behind him supporting him so that he doesn't need to track back as much. But having a Calafiori, which I think will be vital in this game to put more pressure on a Ugarte, on a Bruno Fernandez, um, not a Casemiro. Like who else is gonna probably play?
I think they have Mainu who plays there sometimes. Kobe Mainu.
I remember hasn't rated him, so I don't know if he'll be in there. But
Mm-hmm.
whoever else is in their midfield, I think the way that Calafiori drives the ball, I'll remember the Community Shield against no, not the Community Shield, the Man City game where we went down to 10 men.
Yeah.
Calafiori got that goal. That type of driving run is what's going to undo United because they don't have that structure in the middle of the field. And this isn't a game for Lewis Skelly. We don't necessarily need control in this game because we'll have it. United thrive on chaos. And yes, I might be contradicting myself, but even with Califury, we will have some form of structure, but we need to capitalize and cause them to go into chaos. Not the chaos that we self-inflict on ourselves, but to cause chaos for them to say, okay, who's picking up Califury if he's driving down the middle and Martinelli's keeping wide, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Declan Rice is dropping behind him. And then all of a sudden you got Zubimendi popping up somewhere else, right? That's what I would envision.
Yeah, yeah.
But if they go with your lineup, I would see Madueke instead of Martinelli because again, Timber's there. Not that
Mm,
Madueke's not going to track back, but again, the defensive work rate of a Martinelli versus a Madueke, we've seen it. Martinelli is always back defending his own box. So, but yeah, I don't dislike your lineup. I don't fully disagree with it. I do think this is a Calafiori game for some reason. I think that physical dominance against Mbeumo um, is going to come in handy, but again, not. I wouldn't be upset either way.
mm.
Wait,
Just quickly.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, go on, Laurent.
yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, can't MLS like compete with
Oh, for sure.
Mbemo on the defensive end, right? So I don't know, like, well, I know CJU ruled him out, I guess, due to preseason, right? But I mean, apart from that, I feel like you gotta, like, bro, he came clutch last season. Um,
Yeah, no, you're right.
maybe,
You're
yeah.
absolutely right. Yeah, you're right about that. I just think that I think that yes, it's preseason, and I think, but Arteta and the coaching staff and everyone else will still take that a little bit into account, um, because there is an element of preseason and your form as a team and as an individual player. There's still an element of that you do have to consider, right? That's why you do have the preseason games to have a look at everybody. And Skelly has had a couple of questionable performances. Like he hasn't been up to his best standard. Some goals in preseason against certain opposition have come down his side, giving the ball away in sloppy areas a little bit. Just not his usual self, like that he was for most of last season. And I'm not ruling him out. Like if we were continuing on to the back end of last season and just going to the next game in continuation of the season, Skelly had the shirt for sure. Like he was number one starting left back. Um, but I think again, yeah, not to say that he's not going to play or he's going to lose his spot completely. I just think that we are going to do something different for this game. Like, let's say if we had like a lower level team like Leeds at home or Burnley at home or something like that. I think yeah, you can make the case for Skelly, but I think my selection for even Timber over a Calafiori even as well was just for the defensive solidity. I think that he might
Mhm.
go for, he might opt for because of the Embuemo factor. Again, not to say that Lewis Skelly can't do that job because he can. He's locked down. He did well against Real Madrid and that type of opposition last year for sure. But I just think yeah, with this game, with preseason a little bit being considered in terms of his performances, I think the manager might take that into account um, to drop him for this game. My opinion, though, I think. But
Um,
I wanted to quickly ask you guys, and Laurent, starting with you. This is one of my big talking points that I wanted to drop with you guys is manager pressure. Arsenal as a whole under pressure this season. And the manager specifically under pressure. Laurent, you're already laughing, but I'm in various group chats. I'm having conversations with friends. Everybody who is, whether you're on the Arteta fence or not, whether you're, as I call them, Arteta sexuals, or whether you're an Arteta hater, or whether you're somewhere in the middle. Everybody kind of collectively agrees that this is a massive season for Arteta specifically. I've even obviously Mehrdad, you said it at the back end of last season that if he doesn't win a major, you want him out. You wanted him out after the Champions
mhm.
League results. Laurent, I've come around to getting Nico Takas that we played with for Bacala FC. Shout out Nico. He's come around to even say, if Arteta doesn't win this year, he wants, that's got to be the end of it. Where do you guys stand? And Laurent, I'll start with you. Like, where do you stand in terms of what you think is um, the expectation of Arteta and Arsenal, but specifically Arteta, in order to keep his job this season? Because for me, I think, and I said this in a couple other group chats, he's the manager under the most pressure this season. In terms of all 20 Premier League managers, Arteta is the manager under the most pressure this season.
Hmm,
So, from
I
your
agree.
perspective, what do you think in terms of what Arteta needs to do to, I guess, keep his job by the end of the season in your mind, right? And what's considered success for him and what success looks like? Like, what do you think first and foremost?
Okay, so in terms of keeping his job, I mean, completely honest, I mean, given, I guess, like what you've seen from the board, it seems like they pretty much support him, right? Overall, so I think he can even get away with winning a non-major trophy and calling it a day. You know what I mean?
No.
Then the question. I honestly think so, bro. Like if
So you're
he
saying if
wins
he wins a Carabao Cup, he's fine?
like a Carabao Cup, if you're pushing, I guess like FA Cup is considered major. Yeah, but Premier League. So if he wins any, like, he doesn't have to win the Premier League or the Champions League, and I think he can still keep his job. However, not winning the Premier League or the Champions League would not sit well with the fans.
Hmm.
So he'll keep the job, but I think he'll lose the trust in from the fan base. Yeah, so I feel like there's two sets of expectations there, right? From the fans themselves,
Yes, I
and
fully
then
agree.
from the owners, right? Yeah, so
Because
yeah.
quickly, from our perspective, is and we've always felt like this with the Cronkies, our owners.
Mm,
As long as the club is delivering Champions League football, that's all they're happy with because the money keeps
Yep.
rolling in. They're not necessarily, the theory around them is they're not necessarily the most ambitious of owners, where it's like you win that major or
mhm,
you're out, like a Roman Abramovich. For them, as long as we're competitive, we're still in the top four, which means Champions League money comes in every year for the ownership. That's good enough. So
Mhm.
I fully, yeah, you're absolutely bang on with that. When it comes to the fans, I think, expectations versus the ownership expectation. Like they could literally be fine maybe with an FA Cup or a Carabao Cup and top four, and then we keep it moving. Whereas the fans might have a different perspective by the end of the season. But Mehrdad, what say you?
If we're going on the preface that everything that he doesn't have to deal with the similar injuries and all that stuff from last year, because I think the rotation piece is going to come into play this year, and I think he's going to have to learn that he's going to have to use his full squad. He can't just keep playing the same 11, 12, 13 players. Um, and he needs to develop that part of his game and have trust in his bench. And he's been given the money to do that by the owners. Um, for me, if he wins Champions League and finishes second, I'm happy.
Oh, for sure.
If he wins the Prem and is gets to like semis or like quarters of Champions League, I'm happy. Um,
Hmm.
if he gets to the finals of Champions League, loses, finishes second, but wins Carabao and FA Cup, I would I can stomach it because at least it's two trophies.
Wait. So what are the two trophies he has to win? Carabao? You said
And
Carabao
Carabao
FA.
and FA Cup.
and FA Cup. Okay.
But that's like the bare minimum. So like if you're not gonna win the Prem, if you're not gonna win Champions League, do the double.
Jeez.
So for me, it's like you're winning big this year. One of them. I'm not saying I want two. I'm not trying to be greedy and say go for the trouble, do this, do that. No, 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 no. You're either winning the first European trophy for the team and go down as the one like a historic manager, or you're gonna break the 22-year curse, or if you're not gonna do either of those, you're gonna do a double.
Mm.
To me, that's my expectation. If there's anything below that, and I don't want to hear no bullshit of like, oh, it's December, they're in third place, they're this. No, no, no. When the fat lady sings, that's when I'm gonna make my decision on what I want. It's a long season. There's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of shit that can happen. I'm gonna try this year for the first time to not be as like high and low and just kind of be smooth sailing because I think a lot of the times we do as Arsenal fans, like that's why we're called Banter FC. We do over exaggerate one result and under exaggerate another one, and then just kind of go high and low, being like, "Oh, we're the best team in the world. Oh, we're fucking shit. Oh, we're the best." Like, no, no, no. Like I said at the beginning of the pod, we might like it is a real possibility that we'll lose against United. Huge possibility. Old Trafford is not an easy place to go to. First game of the season. Same thing for like well, I'm teasing it a little bit early, but same thing for West Ham going to newly promoted Sunderland. They should win, but the Sunderland's gonna be bouncing. They just got promoted, right? And Sunderland's not an easy team, not an easy place to go to, right? So there's a lot of context and all these things. But if we're talking about just on paper, like if it was a COVID year where there's no fans, there's no atmosphere, there's none of that shit, yes, on paper, we should win. But I don't want to unravel the season because we're not here just for one game. We're here for the entirety of the season competing in four competitions. So that's what I want to see. what I saw the last couple of years, which, when you reflect a little bit, is the team got too emotional because of Arteta. And this year, what I'm looking to see out of him is some consistency, some emotional control, because I do feel like this is the deal breaking year. As much as I don't think if he doesn't do all of this, I don't genuinely think he's gonna get sacked unless he finishes like fifth place or something ridiculous. Um, I think the board trusts him a lot because he has done a great job. But from a fan's point of view, if he does not do at least what my expectation as a fan is, I would want him gone. That's just my 2 cents. I might be a Arteta truther still. But that's just me being honest.
I think you make one thing I that stood out to me that you said. I think you make a really good point in that you're right, and we have to be a little bit more level this season in terms of our emotions. And I think you were pretty spot on with how Arsenal fans can be very reactionary after games. Yeah, sometimes we over exaggerate a regular win, 3 point result, or we also over exaggerate a loss and act like it's the end of the world and the end of the title race or whatever the case may be. You make a very good point in saying that this game on Sunday, it's not the first and last game of the season. It's not a cup final. It's actually one game and it's the first game of the season. So if we don't get the 3 points, let's say, even if we lose, like hold on, let's maybe calm down and hold our nerve. Um, and just remember that it's a long campaign. It's just going to be the first game of the season. So you make, I think, a very good point in bringing that up. However, I can still say that I am not responsible for how I will react
Oh, no, no, no.
on Sunday in the middle of
Bro,
that
I
battle.
want a
I will still be banging,
fucking win.
I'll still be
Yo,
banging tables at every missed
yo,
Martinelli shot.
bro.
I will
The
still
fuck?
be.
Miss Martinelli shot. Motherfucker's got to get his head up. Remember that he's Brazilian, let alone miss shot. The fuck? Bro, look up. There might be some nice booty walking by. What the hell? You got like you got fans there, they might be like trying to flash you to try to get you, looking up, but like, bro, get your fucking head up.
Said the bunda.
Yeah, bro. Um, all right, let's move on to the real thing. The reason why we're here today. You've been seeing it across all the other podcasts that you've been probably listening to. Um, predictions. So we'll start off with CJ, but just for the fans. So we're gonna be predicting top eight in order, bottom three, player of the year, the golden boot, an underachieving team of the year, a surprise team of the year, and the manager of the year. So we'll start with those predictions, and then given that this is an Arsenal pod and we do have a Chelsea resident, we'll move on to just a couple team specific predictions as well. So CJ, will hand the floor to you. Um, Floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah. So just quickly, I'm gonna start with my top eight prediction. You guys ready for this? Lock in. All right. Pay attention. So my top eight from top to bottom. So I have actually, you know what? No,
Oh,
I'll start
don't
from
change
top.
it now.
I was
Don't
gonna say
change
no,
it
no. I
now.
was gonna say I'll start bottom top, and then I'll start from top to bottom. So I have I have Liverpool winning the Prem.
Boo.
Yeah, yeah. I me people. I always like to keep it a buck. On this podcast, I'll never kind of let my bias show. I like to keep it a buck, and I'll call out who I need to call out, and I'm gonna keep it real, man. And this is what I was saying to you guys in the last couple of weeks. Like, I'm glad that we needed to lead the predictions until as close to the start of the season as possible, because you never know, right, what's going to happen. If we were to do this 2 weeks ago, there's still preseason games. The transfer window's still hot and heavy. As we get close to the right at the beginning of the window, we're now seeing some certain moves that are starting to be made. And we were calling out Liverpool 2 weeks ago, saying, hey, maybe they're boosting up their attack, but they don't have that center back. They don't have that holding midfield cover for Gravenberch, et cetera, et cetera. They're still weak in certain areas. Well, with 2 weeks left in the window and a week before, aka a day before Liverpool plays, we're seeing what they're now trying to do in the window. Like, they're now going for they're now looking at two center backs, right? They're pretty much on the verge of getting both Mark Gahey and another young center back from a foreign center back from across the league. I forgot his name now, but
Well, I
What's the
swear, Newcastle was like, no, we're not selling him.
They're not
no?
gonna
I think
sell him.
Huh?
They're not gonna sell him.
you guys don't think so?
Bro, like legit, they came out and said, no, we're not.
What they're gonna do is Saudi
Mm.
owners are gonna go to him and say, look, because here's the part that we have to understand is for them, it's their business, it's their organization. If they were to sell Isak with the way that he's going about it, they're essentially saying to every single player, if you strong arm us, we'll fold. And let me tell you something about I'm a Middle Eastern man. Let me tell you something about Middle Eastern men. You try to strong arm us, you're gonna get something else coming your way. So I do believe there's gonna be a closed door meeting with the owners, Isak, Eddie Howe. I do believe he is gonna play for Newcastle this year, and I do believe they are gonna say that you're gonna play for us because you're not gonna strong arm us, but we will let you go next year for this amount of fee. A la what happened with Daniel Levy and Harry Kane. I don't think Isak goes to Liverpool. Gahey, 100% he's going. 100%.
Interesting that you guys both had that perspective. I didn't know you guys felt like that. Like, I would actually love to make maybe like a soft gentleman's bet on that one too, because genuinely, I think he's going like 100%. Like, there's just too much. How do you return from this as a player and as a club? Like, that relationship is completely broken. He does not want to play for them. He's made that clear. He said he'll sit out the season. Obviously, whether that's true or not, but the fact that you're saying this shit in public, you're embarrassing the club, right? So as much as you're talking about the strong arm thing, and I get it, but he's embarrassed the club publicly now, like with his actions, and that relationship for me is completely broken. He does not want to be there, and and Pep Guardiola is like this, right? For any of his players, like whoever wants to leave can leave. Pep doesn't care, kind of thing, right? And there's a little bit of a an ego thing there as well, where it's like if you don't want to play for me, you're really desperately showing that you don't want to be here. Then all right, dip, like go. But I get it. The finances are involved. Not that they need the money, but like they rejected already 120 mil from Liverpool. Like that's a pretty good, strong opening bid, and they've already rejected that. So, but yeah, just because of I think how broken the relationship is, I still think
He
that he
goes.
goes. But that's
Okay.
interesting that you guys don't think so. I thought for sure all of us would have been in agreement that like, yeah, no, he's a done man, like he's gone. But we'll see. I guess to be determined on that one. But anyways, yeah, we digress a little bit. I think yeah, regardless, I still have Liverpool as my favorites. Obviously, if Isak goes, that they're like my strong favorites. But without Isak, they are still my favorites.
Okay.
Ekatike looks good regardless up front. We saw what he did in the game last week in the Community Shield, and the way he linked up with Verts and a couple of the other attacking players, the way he took his goal. Ekatike is a baller too, man. And I think that if anything, this he's not going would maybe disrupt things a little bit. I don't know how they would play with the both of them, but Ikatike, it would be poor guy. He wouldn't get his chance to shine really in that center forward role if Isak did come, but he's still a good player, and I think he will be good for them. And Liverpool will still be dangerous. So I have them as winners. Um, I have our boys. I have Arsenal finishing second again. Ole ole. Um, that will be 4 years in a row. When I really think about it out loud, 4 years in a row, Arsenal finishing second is kind of crazy. Um, that for sure would get Arteta the sack, or should from the fans' perspective. Maybe not the owners, but 4 years in a row, second is crazy. But at the same time, it's like I don't think we did enough, and I can't wait, Mehrdad. We'll have these debates as the season goes on. Respectfully about you said last week why you think Arsenal will win the Prem. I just don't see it. Like we have a problem, like I said, breaking down low blocks. That's not necessarily something that we can solve right away. I don't think, with Gyökeres coming in, we still have the same style of play at the moment. Now, hopefully he changes because he did show in the last preseason game against Bilbao he was adaptable in the sense that he started playing Rice and Zubimendi more as a double pivot as opposed to Rice, the attacking left eight, and Zubimendi sitting. So he is showing tactical flexibility with just that one game. I hope he can carry that on throughout the season. But I do think it's going to take a little bit of time to adjust to maybe the Gyökeres and the direct style of play. And unfortunately, we don't have that kind of time because, again, the season is here. Time waits for no man. And I think we will still probably come just short unless we do a couple of the things in the window if the Rodrigo stuff is true. But yeah, as a result, I don't think we've done enough at this time to say I'm confident that we'll win the Prem. And I think we'll finish second. Um, City, I think, finishes third. I almost had that as a swap, actually. I almost had City second, Arsenal third, but
Wow.
yeah, I know it's kind of wild. But I am gonna stick with us just to finish second. City, I think, finishes third. It'll be tight. I think they finish third. Um, I have Chelsea fourth, but it's not like I don't have Chelsea fourth as like they're way off the top three. I have Chelsea fourth as in like it's going to be close between all the top four, or maybe between second and fourth is close. It's just that there's only so many places you can put one team, right? So I think the next in line would be Chelsea. They're going to be dangerous this season. Like I said, a couple of my other chats and people's discussions that I've been a part of, some people have Chelsea winning the Prem, which is wild a little bit in my opinion. But people do think that Chelsea will be a force, and I do agree with that. Chelsea's going to be good this season. Mehrdad's
They'll be a
laughing, but
force until December, and then they'll go crumbling.
no, I
Ah,
think they'll be good enough to get in the
It's
top
in the
four.
Chelsea DNA.
Jeez, jeez. I think they'll be fourth.
Yo,
Um,
Laurent, you're not ready for what's coming your way this year, bro. Just saying. Sorry to cut you off, CJ. You're not
no, no, you're
ready.
good. Um, yeah, Chelsea fourth.
uh,
I have Villa fifth. Aston Villa is gonna finish fifth, I think. They still have a strong side, so and they managed to keep most of their team together. And Emery has a good tune out of them. They're not in Champions League; they're in Europa League, which is going to be less demanding than a Champions League. So I think that they've shown enough over the last couple of years that they're a strong outfit, and I think that I like their team, to be honest, and I think that they'll still be there or thereabouts. So I think they'll be fifth. I have Man United finishing sixth, and I have them sixth because of the once a week factor. They play once a week, and
Wow.
they have that may be quite high. Yeah, a lot of people will say that that could be quite high to jump from 15th to sixth. But again, when you play once a week and you've strengthened the way they have a little bit, and I still think they might do a little bit more, I think that they'll finish sixth. Personally, if they would finish lower, I won't be surprised. But maybe I'm doing them a little bit. I'm giving them a lot of credit by saying they'll finish sixth. But I have Spurs seventh. Um, all jokes aside about Spurs, they looked good yesterday. And they have looked good in preseason. They looked good against us, and you can tell Thomas Frank is having them play a different way than Ange did. They're more structured defensively, and they're tougher to break down. And they have good players now. And if they do get the likes of an Eze, which they're strongly linked with now, and a couple other players, Spurs are going to be decent. Like, don't sleep on them. But I do have them finishing seventh, and I have them finishing behind a Villa and United because they are in Champions League, and it'll be, I think, demanding for them to play again in the Champions League and Premier League and try and go on all those fronts. And I still don't think the squad is going to be strong enough to do so. But that's why I have them finishing seventh. But they are going to be a decent team this season. And then Newcastle, I have eighth, and I had them eighth because um, I factored in the fact that Isak won't be there, and because I think Newcastle is in a bit of turmoil at the moment with the disarray at the club between Isak and the club. Obviously, this summer they've taken a lot of L's in terms of players that have rejected them to go elsewhere. So I don't know, man. And they have Champions League football. So again, another one where not all these teams like a Spurs and Newcastle, not all these teams can deal with the exhaustion of playing a Champions League and Premier League, midweek and weekend. Like that's going to be very demanding. Newcastle found that out the last time they were in the Champions League. Their Premier League campaign fell off by the wayside because of that. So I think for that reason again, and I'm factoring in the fact that Isak won't be there. I think Newcastle finishes eighth. And that's my top eight. And then just quickly, my relegated before I pass it on to the next person. My relegated bottom three is Burnley, Wolves, and Sunderland in no particular order. I just think those three are going to go down. Wolves because they've lost Cunha now, their best player, and they've been flirting with relegation for the last couple seasons. So no Cunha, and they're still kind of the same sort of similar side. I think they'll go down finally this year. Sunderland, I think they'll come up and go straight back down. They kind of did what Forest did a few seasons ago when Forest first came to the Premier League, and they made like a bunch of signings. Sunderland has made a bunch of signings, but I don't think it'll be enough to keep them up because I don't think there's obviously that cohesive unit, right? They're a bunch of new players. How are they all going to play together? I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt and say, our old boy Granit Xhaka is going to keep them up, but I don't think him alone can do it. So, I think those are the bottom three: Burnley, Wolves, and Sunderland. So
wait,
one
so
more
Leeds
time,
United,
mm,
you don't have as
getting relegated? No, I think Leeds will stay up
No, Leeds are a
personally.
big team, man. Leeds are
Yeah,
a
I think
big
Leeds
team.
will stay up.
Leeds have history. Leeds will stay up. I agree with that.
Mm.
Um,
So yeah, one more time, just as I round up: Liverpool winning the league, Arsenal second, City third, Chelsea fourth, Aston Villa fifth, Man United sixth, Spurs seventh, Newcastle eighth, And then my relegated teams: Burnley, Wolves, and Sunderland.
Laurent, who's your top eight? Who's your bottom
Jeez,
three?
Mehrdad wants to go last. Let's see what fire he's gonna bring.
Yeah, word. Guy gave himself a extension on the lows, but all right, top eight. You know what? I'm gonna go bottom up.
Oh,
I'm gonna go bottom up. So eighth place, Newcastle for me. Yeah, I think it's with the points that CJ's brought, those were good points. This whole Alexander Isak situation, I think is gonna do a lot of harm to the club, even in terms of the morale, right? For the players. Um, and yeah, no, I think there's gonna be a dip in performance compared to what they did last season. Seventh, I got Spurs. A part of me wanted to give him a higher ranking, funny enough. I don't know, maybe it was just after performance in the Super Cup. And also, their preseason games, that new manager seems to, be getting a pretty fine tune out of them. They seem well organized too, as well. With five in the back, the way they're playing, pretty disciplined, right, in terms of their shape, formation. So yeah, no, I think seventh is a good spot for them to be.
she still
Uh,
couldn't take out the Spursy out of Spurs though. In their DNA.
Yo.
eh, hey man, yeah, yeah, that's it's
Holy
unfortunate. I'm not gonna
shit.
lie, it's unfortunate, but yeah. Sixth, I have Man United.
Wow, we're aligned so far, bro. Are you
Wow.
sure you're not copying me based on my
Nope.
answers just now?
Trust me, bro. At some point, it's gonna diverge,
Oh,
bro.
okay,
That's
okay.
that's why I said bottom up.
All right.
Yeah, no. So yeah, I got
I was gonna
United
say
there.
Arsenal's fourth watch.
Nah, nah. But yeah, no. So for United, obviously, I think that club and their history, they're too big to allow what happened last season. Mind you, I mean, last season was bad. So anything, even 10th place shit is right, is good on that. But it's more so the signings, the offensive firepower that was brought into the club. I think should help them, right? At least in terms of goal scoring. Now it becomes a question of what the midfield and the defense is saying, right?
Hmm.
And as well as the keeper, um, I know Onana was a big question mark last season. Um, but funny enough, like I'd actually have to get the stats on whether or not he was actually as bad as what they made it seem to be. Because apparently he's still a pretty decent shot stopper, right? And whatnot. So I think the blame was more so on the defense and the midfield for even allowing, right, easy penetration into the box. So yeah, solid six
Jeez.
for me.
Pause. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, we all know, who was the class clown in elementary. Yeah. But
Oh no, all I'm saying is, bro, those are some crazy words, bro. Easy penetration into the box. Like there's three mans on this pod, fam. You gotta take time with that. Pause. Jeez. Anyways.
yeah, no. So fifth place, I got I got Villa.
No, fam, you dead ass just literally listened to me talk and wrote all your answers down, bro. That's how
No,
you were in the classroom, bro. This guy just looked at the man's test beside him and just said, "All right, bet
bro. If
those
you
are the answers."
if you wanted to see it, you could have asked, bro. Like,
I
yeah,
actually
no.
want. I'm gonna ask you offline when you made these predictions because this dead ass so far is
I made him
spot on with me.
no, actually 2 hours before today's podcast. Yeah. But I tell you, bro, it differs. Like once
Okay,
we hit
okay,
that top four, bro, we are no longer aligned, as I can tell you that
okay.
much.
All right, bet, bet.
Yeah. So Villa, Unai Emery, um, I think his performance last season, although I could even bump them down simply because I believe that the boost they had was their loan signings
Hmm.
True,
that they were able
true,
to
true.
obtain. So it'd be interesting to see, right, with the squad they have now. if they'd be even able to perform to that
They
level.
just lost Jalen Ramsey too
Mm,
to Newcastle.
mm. Yeah, I know. So, but I think on the tactical end, if there's a manager that can
Mhm.
right get the most out of his players, it'd be him. Funny enough, right? So, should be interesting to see. Now we get to the top four. All right, where things diverge a little bit. So in spot number four, I have good old Man City. Um,
Mm.
yeah. For me, I think I don't know. I feel like Pep's magic is starting to wane a little bit, right?
Mm.
Yeah. Whatever, right? Aura he brought into the league with him when he first came about, I think is no longer there. Mind you, phenomenal coach. The players are good, but I feel like his system, his style of play, um, has been adapted to
Hmm.
by the other clubs, which is why if they are to win again, it's gonna take him a bit of time to get in line with the players, right, and all of that. So it's not gonna happen this season for me. Third place, Arsenal FC.
Wow.
That's who I have in third. Um,
Wow, this guy has high hopes for his club, man.
Wow.
the highest of highs,
Yo, this
and
man's pulling a Luke Shaw. Bro, did you fix your knee injury yet, Laurent?
oh, my knee is perfect, bro. Like I
Okay.
just yeah, bro. Like
Wow. This man's okay.
yeah, no. So I'm
He's
I'm losing.
struggling for words to figure out why he put Arsenal
No, no,
third.
no, no. It's really like I mean, it's I'm losing faith in you know what I mean? It's like
Ooh.
yeah, yeah.
Oh.
At this point, it's like, and I'm not as patient as you guys, right? And I think I even told CJ this, right? That bro, the other clubs are gonna catch up. Like you guys
Yeah,
had
you
your
did say
window.
that. You did
You
say
know,
that.
I've been saying this, and I think that window has come to pass, right? Like this was last season, probably the easiest season for you guys to have won that league. Given right all the work that's been done up to this point, you guys had what I can say. Obviously, the striker situation, but you guys had every other piece in play. And like I said, the easiest season. So meaning that I don't even think you guys needed a striker like that to compete this season, right? Um, whereas right in the harder season, that's when you truly need that edge, right? Like the goal scorers and whatnot. And yeah, man, I just don't think the other teams, heck, like like other teams are trying to win it. So it's like you guys are not gonna get away with shit this season. And yeah, that whole Netflix FC, um, I think has been terminated permanently. So there is no second place anymore. Um, yeah. Now, second, I give to your boy Arnie Slot.
No, bro, don't do it. Oh, you're crazy.
Yep,
Oh my
yep.
gosh.
Which is why I told you it diverts. We're
Oh my gosh.
yep. And no, I think like I said,
So in
like
the top
see,
four, there's only one man who has hair on his head, and he's the one who's gonna finish in third place. All the other three bald-headed men are gonna share the fucking baby oil. Are you
listen,
insane?
Mehrdad, you have your turn, bro. You have your turn to discuss. You know what I mean? Like you're getting antsy, I know, but you have your turn, bro. But yeah, no, Liverpool on paper to me, um, stacked team, stacked team. Especially on the offensive side of things. I know the defense is where right things are looking a bit shaky. Mind you, I know you CJ mentioned right two center backs. Um, you said one of them is young too, so I don't know right like with experience how that's going to look like for them this season. Um, I know City. Well, someone's still shocked, still but
I,
don't worry,
I,
man.
I'm waiting for I'm waiting for Ashton Kutcher to come in and be like, "You've been punked," like what the or like the Kool-Aid man coming in, be like, "Oh yeah!" Like, what are you? This you're being for real right now.
What, I mean, putting Liverpool second?
Listen, you might as well just fucking say Leeds are gonna win the Prem because you better not say fucking Chelsea. Like,
All right, yeah, you know what? Let me get past number two. All right. So anyway, so yeah, no, with Liverpool, offensively, right? They look really good. I got a glimpse of them in the last game, but I don't know. I think even like Mehrdad's influence has grown on me in terms of Arnie Slot. You know,
hey, that's the smartest thing that you've said in 35 pods.
yeah, yeah, but
Jeez.
yeah, no. So it'd be interesting to see how he is, going to fare in the second season, right? Especially where with a league that I feel like is tightening up. It's not going to be as easy. Um, and what was bit what was a bit worrying for me was the performance in their last game.
Community Shield.
Yeah, that to me, you got to have that hunger, man. You know that and that hunger, it's like you just see it. You see what I'm saying? Like and with a team like that, like they should, to me, that game should have been theirs. Um, Mind you, it is, yeah, it's just one game, but that it, the part to me that was not looking convincing, right? So they're still leaky in the back, right? Or overall, um, and yeah, which is why when you're looking for hunger, you got to look no further than
Oh
Chelsea
my
FC.
gosh.
A team that truly, up to this point, I can honestly say, and I think everyone can agree, if we're looking at things objectively. No, 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 I'm being dead serious, right? If we're looking at things objectively, we're not putting our biases into it. Chelsea, at present time, look like the hungriest team in the Premier League, heck, in the world presently, in terms of just performance on the
What?
pitch. Yeah, yes. From the preseason, we have not missed a beat. And I know you guys are not watching the games. It's probably why, right? But Chelsea FC has not missed a beat since the Club World Cup till now. And it just seems like this team has so much room for growth. Like these we're playing with like the players that, haven't played together yet, but we're meshing so well. Right? So this is where the ceiling is at, right? And it can only go up. So the floor and the ceiling, right? We're on an elevator. You know what I mean? Like, when you start off at the bottom of the CN Tower and the elevator is going up, and it feels like you're on there forever. That's
until the
Chelsea FC.
wire snaps in December and you come crashing down and realize that you're in
Nah,
the
nah, man,
title
nah.
race.
None of that is happening, and I can tell you why. But none of that is happening. I think at this point, the manager, and his managerial ability will speak volumes this season. Um, this brings us back to our original podcast, right? When we asked, right, is a manager, is a player? Well, what do you do when you have both? You know what I mean? You have
Oh
phenomenal
my god.
talent. No, no, like, I mean, that's serious. Like, you have phenomenal talent that's only going to be added onto into the squad. You have depth, serious depth. And then on top of that, you have positional combinations where you have players that can be interchanged for different positions on the pitch. It's threats all over, right? And the ball, the way the ball is moving, it's different. Like the angles, the passing angles have changed. It's not the same way that we're playing this season, right? Sorry, that we're playing last season. And we're just scoring. The guys that are at that position are just scoring. So what do? The lap, Pedro, and you got other guys that can score just as well, right? So that's what I'm saying. And the team's young, so I think
Hmm.
everyone should look out for Chelsea, in my honest opinion.
Okay. So who's your bottom three?
So bottom three, honestly, bro, I just put whoever is coming up there to be sent back.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you think Burnley leads Sunderland going back down?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And funny enough, I think that's what happened this season. No?
It's the last 3 seasons, I believe so, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Hungriest team in the world is crazy. That's a crazy comment.
You, I mean, what do you call the team that just won the Club World Cup and that dominated in their preseason games? Like legit, we're making it look so easy like right when you're watching the games. We're making it look very easy in terms of like on the eye, and right. This is not the Chelsea of like that started that season last year or the December, and it's like it only goes up. Every game is it's flavor, man. You talked about Martinelli, you talked about the Samba, you talked about you got the João Pedro, you got everything, man. You got everything, and on top of that, the keeper is starting to look solid. So you tell me, am I biased? A
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit, a
yeah,
little bit. I'll be honest, a little bit. But I'm pretty sure that bias comes with, good observational data, and I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet on my team based on what I've seen thus far. And yeah, just you talked about form, right? We're in
Hey,
amazing form preseason.
you're saying with your chest, I respect it.
Hmm.
I'm still gonna make fun of you about it, but I respect it.
Yeah, man. No, I don't know. I'm surprised CJ didn't put Arsenal first. That to me was a bit surprising. And I know Mehrdad. I'm pretty sure Mehrdad's gonna have Arsenal on the number one spot. So yeah, like Mehrdad, I'm curious. Like, let us know.
All right. Um, I'm gonna start for top to bottom. Just keep it intriguing. You are right for all the reasons that I said last week. Arsenal are gonna win. The last time we finished three times in second place, the fourth year we won. That's not why I'm saying that we're gonna win. It's for all the reasons that I said last week. And the biggest reason, again, just for a quick little recap, is six different players for Liverpool. Arne Slot has never repeated in his professional career, and he has never proven to be a big team, big personality manager. I'm just gonna leave it there. Not gonna entertain any conversations about Arteta this, Arteta that, Netflix FC. You're right. Sure, we haven't won yet, but the team that he started off with 6 7 years ago to the team that he's been able to build, I think it speaks for itself. And I think this year we get over the line. Liverpool will finish second because I do believe that they are the second best team in the league. Um, I think that they figure it out, but I think the one part that I think CJ you're also forgetting is that AFCON is this year, and they're going to be losing Mohamed Salah. So you know there, there's a couple things that can be working against them, but I do think that they're the second best team in the league. I do have Chelsea in third place. I don't think it's a third place that I'm saying that they're wildly out of the race. I do think that Chelsea are going to push Arsenal and Liverpool. I think it's going to be a three-headed race. But I do think the number of games that Chelsea have played this year, although they're a young team, I think it's going to start catching up to them, whether it's December, whether it's January. They're in the Champions League, so they don't have the luxury of being able to rotate the squad like last year, playing two completely different squads in the Conference League and in the Premier League. I do think that that's going to catch up to them.
You'll be surprised. That's what I will say. You'll be
We'll see.
surprised.
Man City, I have them in fourth. Rodri still is recovering from his injury. Um, the boy said good points. I think Pep. I think the time is winding down for Pep to move on to a different challenge. It doesn't. Something's off about them, and he always jokes
hmm
around about like he has this sense, right? Pep always does like this little finger movement around his nose. He's like, I sense it, and he hasn't done that for a while, and I think he's not sensing it anymore. You know, I think he's taking too much antihistamines. He can't sense anything anymore. Um, I do think they'll be tough, but I do think they finish fourth. This is where CJ, like I said, keep it tame, keep it real. I got Villa fifth. Again, not gonna go into it. The boys already talked about it. I got Newcastle sixth. As I said earlier in the pod, I do not believe that Isak is going anywhere. I do believe Isak stays, and I believe he helps them repeat top four. Um, and they have arguably one of the best midfields in the Premier League.
Wait, so
Wait,
you think he's
repeat
gonna
top
play?
four? You
Pardon
said
me?
repeat top four, but you said that you had them
Sorry, sorry,
sixth.
sorry, 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 sixth. Sorry, they're gonna finish sixth. They're gonna finish in a year. They're gonna repeat in a European
Oh,
spot.
okay,
My
okay.
apologies. They're gonna
Wait,
repeat
so
in a year.
you think he's gonna play?
100%.
Apparently, he was like, "I'm not playing ever again," or
That's
something like that.
fine. He'll play.
You think? Yeah. All right.
Well, if he stays, I think he'll play too. I don't think he's gonna stay, but if he does stay, yeah, he's gonna
He's
play.
gonna play. He's gonna suck it up. He's gonna apologize. He's gonna make things amend, and he's gonna play. Yeah,
And like, he's gonna play 100%. Like, as in, like, yeah,
of
he's
course,
playing, but like,
because
he's
at the end
playing
of the
with like
day,
the
because at
will
the
to
end of the
play.
day, any prospering team is gonna look at that and be like, okay, well, if things go
Mm,
south, do I want a player that is gonna do this? He's already ruined his reputation. He could have done it like a Harry Kane, where he could have done things behind closed doors and he could have not said anything and been more professional about it. But the way that he's gone about it, if I was a Liverpool, I would be quite concerned because I
mm.
don't want that personality coming into my dressing room thinking that you're bigger than the club.
Can I ask you guys a quick question? Very quick. Do you think it's different to what Gyökeres did? Because Gyökeres also kind of went on strike against Sporting too, right? So people are giving Isak a lot of stick for this. Like, why is it different than when Gyökeres did? Like, is this one deserved? You know, did he have a gentleman's agreement in place to leave? Like, why is Isak making a big fuss out of this? You know what I mean? And like, so is it justified? Like, what do you
Because
guys
it
think
came
about
out of
what he's doing?
nowhere. Because as soon as Arsenal signed forward, as soon as, it just came out of nowhere.
Mm,
Everything was fine. And then he's like, I want to leave. Whereas Gyökeres he was set it from the start of the window. Isak waited until the window had already progressed and came to a point where it's like, okay, like what are we supposed to do now? That's just my thoughts, you know?
Mm.
And I think Gyökeres, the reason why he's getting more grace is because Arsenal met every single thing that Sporting wanted. They were just playing hardball.
mm,
That's not the scenario with Isak. I just won't play. Liverpool hasn't met Newcastle's want or need. Like if Newcastle won 150 plus and Liverpool had that put it there and Newcastle's just playing hardball, completely different story. But for me, that's how I would look at it is differently. So I do have them sixth. Oh, here we go. Seventh place. Coming in with a new loanee, new stadium. Um,
oh no, wait, I think I know who you're gonna say. That's
they're
crazy.
I think they're gonna turn some heads. Um, the manager that they brought in last year, um, said that he's going to come in and try to revamp the team. And I think having a new stadium, having that new energy, having that new money in there, having a loanee who can potentially go back to how he was prior to the
Oh
club
no,
that he signed for. Yes, oh yes,
no,
I
no, no.
have Everton
That's
in
crazy, bro.
seventh place.
Bro, you have 2 minutes to rethink this.
I told you
To,
you
to,
can't say
you
that
can you
shit.
have 2 minutes to
This
consider
is
your
my
actions. You're on
prediction.
timeout. Go on the naughty step. You have 2 minutes to consider your
Um,
actions.
Jack Grealish is
Oh fuck, bro, that is crazy.
The fuck is Jack
going.
Grealish gonna do?
Jack, do you remember how he played in Aston Villa? He
Does
dragged
he
them.
remember how he played in Aston Villa?
That's what I'm
That's a
saying.
better question.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
what?
The
Yeah.
tune that David Moyes got out of a Beto, out of a Ndiaye,
Oh,
out of a McNeil,
that's funny.
um, I do think that they're going to make noise, and I do think they're going to be a team to be reckoned with this year. They're going to have that new stadium bounce, and I do believe that they are going to finish seventh, and in eighth place with spending 200 million. Manchester United. I do think that their back line is going to come back and haunt them. They've spent so much time focusing on their attack. They've neglected the one part that they needed to address the most. Um, so that's my
It's
top eight.
funny. Sorry, it's funny you say that about United, but honestly, bro, they were like shambles from front to back. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
But
yeah, I
you
guess it.
typically build up from the back, right? Like you'd want to address the back first, or if anything, rather get your Mbuemo and get your
Mhm.
Cunha. But that third signing should have been a defender,
Yeah. Well,
right? Or if you knew you were going to go for a Sesko, don't get a Acuna or don't get a Mbamo. Get one of them, and then get a defender. That's the point that I'm making. I think they're going to be good.
Mm,
Them, Everton, Newcastle. It's going to be within 1 or 2 points. But I don't think they do it. I don't think they get in. They crack that top six.
mm.
Um, and my bottom three again, some controversy, and this is in order. Wolves are going to be bottom. Second from bottom is going to be Burnley. I think they've had a couple big losses, and I think losing their keeper in Trafford, I think that's going to be a huge loss for them. I don't think the style that Parker, what's his first name? Oh my God.
Scott Parker.
Yeah, Scott Parker. I don't think he's gonna be able to manage it. Um, and West Ham,
Jeez.
West Ham, um, losing kudos. I just don't have a good feeling about them, and I think they're gonna get dragged into a relegation battle from the start. I think will come to our prediction. Well, not we're not really predicting this game, but I do think that they lose to Sunderland this weekend. I think they'll lose like 2-1 or something
Wow.
like that, or 1-0, because Sunderland's gonna be bouncing. Sunderland is a big team. They do have a lot of followers, and I think um, they're gonna drag West Ham into a relegation fight, and I think West Ham's gonna go down.
Honestly, yo, the only reason why I didn't put that team there is given who's managing them. And it's almost like I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. You
Graham
know what I mean?
Potter,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. You know, he had a spell at a big club. It didn't
which
go
he
his way
failed
miserably.
abysmally.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Yes. Yes. And he took some time off, you know what I mean? Collected himself. He has hair. I mean, that's good for him, right? Uh and
I mean, the three teams that are being relegated, all three of them do have hair, so I mean that's not gonna work for that one.
but yeah, I don't know. But that's interesting one. West Ham, like plus I mean
Well,
they
for
yo,
the
they still have
record, bro, you know you have hair, right?
who, me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I just wanted to make that clear because the three people that I was making fun of, they have zero hair.
Mm. Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
just wanted to say. Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
okay. Just want to keep it G real, you know.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, that's my top eight and bottom three. I told you, CJ, there's gonna be a couple names in there that you're gonna be like, what the fuck? But yeah, that's my top eight.
I
Um,
wonder if you genuinely believe that seventh
I
place.
genuinely do believe that. I genuinely do believe that. I genuinely do believe it because I think the pressure that is going to be on United, the pressure that's going to be on Spurs playing midweek games, and Thomas Frank never having to manage something like that before. Um, Newcastle have done it in the past, and Eddie Howe, I trust them more of a manager than a Thomas Frank, than a Ruben Amorim because Amorim did it in an easier league, right? He's never done it here. Whereas Eddie Howe, he has the experience. David Moyes has been at the biggest clubs. He has done it at the biggest clubs, right? And Everton is a huge club. And I think he's going to get the guys bouncing. And when he came in, you saw the difference. The players were playing for him. The fans were there for him. He knows what it means to the Merseyside. Um, so to me, yes, I genuinely do believe this top eight, and I think it's gonna happen.
Wow. Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we gotta start this, and come back to it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we're gonna post it on our Insta.
Mm.
Let's quickly get through some of the other stuff so we can get to our predictions. I'll start. Player of the year. Player of the year. Man, I don't even want to say this because I know there's gonna be so much controversy. But you know, that's a good shout. I actually thought about Mr. Palmer for Player of the Year, but I'm not going for Mr. Palmer as a Player of the Year. Um, I gotta do it. I'm so sorry. Declan Rice, Player of the
Fair.
Year.
Fair. Fair.
I think, and I don't want to take too much time, but I think if Arsenal are going to get over the line, he is the one that's going to carry us over. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
Okay. Yeah.
Fair. Um, my player of the year. I had to think about this for a while, but my player of the year. This is just a random wild card. For some reason, I just have this gut instinct that Florian Wirtz is going to be the player of the year. I don't know why. I mean, it
Hmm.
makes sense if I have that team winning the league. I just think because again, I'm assuming that Isaac is there, right? So Isaac, Ekatike, Salah, Gakpo, Florian Wirtz behind them is just going to be having a field day in terms of just
Hmm.
creating for them and assists. I think he's going to rack up a bunch of assists, and I think he's just going to have the freedom to float in that Arne slot system with McAllister and Gravenberch behind them. I think he just has the structure and the setup for him to just mash work in the prem. So I think he's going to come in and be player of the season. Random wild card. I don't want to give it to like the Salahs who's already had it, like bare Premier League player of the years and all that. Um, so yeah, I know Florian Wirtz. It's a wild card one, but I for some reason I think it's going to be him.
Hmm.
Okay. Honestly, looks like all our player of the years are on our winning teams. So Cole
Cole
Palmer for
Palmer.
me. Yeah. Yeah, no. Um, I mean, for the same reasons that CJ has said, right? But just relative to Chelsea.
Okay.
Plus now, if you guys remember, the stats for him was had Jackson scored, his assist tally would have been yay high, right? But he just wasn't able to get that due to the striker failing to score. And now it looks like, right, we do have the firepower in that position. So yeah, no, he's a pivotal piece for our club. He's shown it in the tournament, preseason as well, and I think he's just gonna keep improving with us. So
Huh?
yeah.
Golden Boot. Um, Might as well just say it. Uh, Unfortunately, Erling Haaland, the robot.
Interesting. Damn. Yeah, you took mine. I was gonna say that. I didn't think you were gonna go with Holland, but I actually also agree. I think Holland is gonna be he's gonna return to the Golden Boot winner and get his prize back from Mo Salah. So that's mine as well.
Laurent.
Erling Haaland.
Oh
Yeah,
Yeah,
shit, we
I
all
mean
think so.
there
yeah.
Interesting.
isn't much in it. There isn't. I mean, it speaks for itself. Um, Underachieving team of the year. If you boys don't mind, I will go first, unless someone else would like to go first. I'll take the silence as I can go first. Underachieving team of the year based off of my top eight. Manchester United. Um, Spent all that money, don't get into a European spot. I don't anticipate them winning anything this year. And for a team that's trying to build, to try to move out of Old Trafford, I think getting European football is huge for them. And I think while it is an improvement, moving up 10 to 9 to 10 spots, it is nowhere near the standards of a Manchester United. So that's my underachieving team of the year.
Yeah, for me, mine is Newcastle. Because again, I predict them to finish eighth, and I think from their perspective that would be considered an underachievement because again, they were supposed to be going up, right? They just won the cup, they're in Champions League football, and now with all this turmoil with Isaac and everything, it looks like things are starting to kind of wind back down for them. So I think finishing eighth, right? If we based on last season, if you guys remember, like at the back end of last season, after they won the Carabao Cup, the way they beat Liverpool and the way they finished the end of the season, people were saying that the following year, aka this coming season, that Newcastle could be title contenders, even,
Correct.
right? So yeah, with those expectations in mind and with how things were looking on such a high for them, I think they'll be the underachievers now. And to be honest with you, they could genuinely, based on the competition in the Premier League and how it's getting competitive again, as we mentioned, and all the teams that could be in those top eight, top 10 spots, they could even finish lower than the eighth place that I
100%.
have them in. You know, who knows how they'll fare this season with everything that's going on. So, um, yeah, I think they'll be the underachievers personally.
Cool. Laurent?
Mm. Arsenal FC is what I put. Now, before you
Wow.
guys come for me, my reasoning is very simple. The time has come. No, real talk. The time has come for Arteta. There is like his back is, you know what I mean, against the wall, and all eyes on him, all eyes on the club. and I just don't think he's gonna do it, man. Like I just generally do not, right? Like it's like everything to me. It's like it has to be the perfect season in terms of execution, and I don't know, man. Like it's like new players sometimes too, right? Is Gyökeres gonna jump off right first season, bang, right? Like we don't know. We don't know how that looks. I know there's still Gabriel Jesus in the equation, and then you got the Havers, but on the left wing, that's still in the equation.
Hmm.
Um, so it's the only team to me that has that amount of pressure, and I just don't know how the delivery is going to happen, right? When we factor in like those things, so that's why, right? If you fall short, even by this much, you've underachieved, and that's why I put Arsenal.
Hmm. All right. Um, I mean, based off of your top 8 predictions, it does make sense. Um, surprise slash overachieving team of the year. I mean, for me, it's a given. Everton,
Oh yeah,
for all the
jeez.
reasons that I said. Um, I think you'll be surprised, man. I genuinely think you'll be surprised at how good they'll be this year. And I know we joke about Jack Grealish and is he going to remember how to play um, with the Aston Villa days? But genuinely, David Moyes got a tune out of Beto and Gi McNeil. Like he has an English international who's won the treble. If he's going to be able to get a tune out of him. He's coached top players. He's managed big personalities. He's got a tune out of Declan Rice and won a European trophy with him. He's been at United. He's been at Liverpool. He's managed big players. He's going to be able to do this, and he is going to be able to be the help Everton be
Did
the
you say Liverpool?
David Moyes.
Yeah, not Liverpool,
Sorry,
but
not Liverpool. Not
I think
Liverpool.
your point.
United. My apologies.
Hmm.
Not Liverpool. United. But still,
Hmm.
like he's he was handpicked by Sir Alex.
Fergie. I would say most would say he failed at United. To be
He
fair,
did.
but
He did. In the grand scheme of things, he did. He did. But
you remember Laurent all those memes from like when we were in school about David Moyes? I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
you know, but he was still handpicked, and he still performed at West Ham with a smaller, um, with a smaller payroll, and you know, he- again for me, they're my overachieving team.
Mm. Just quickly, it's crazy to say that, all jokes aside, how David Moyes failed, um, because I think that year or the year after when he got sacked, he was finishing like seventh with Man United. So with hindsight, with the benefit of hindsight for us, if you see where United has been finishing since, like 15th this past season and all that, David Moyes probably looks like a god since Fergie because like seventh is probably one of their more respectable finishes if you
Ollie
actually
Barn.
take it in.
What about Jose finishing second?
Yeah, with that United team too. Yeah, he said it was one of his best achievements.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, anyways, for me, just nice and short and simple and sweet here. For me, my overachieving team is Fulham. I like Fulham as a team, and they've managed to keep most of their team from last year. People kind of sleep on them, and they have a good side. They do have a good side. They have a good back line. Bassey, Anderson. Left back is Anthony Robinson, who I'll be surprised actually if he finishes the window at Fulham because he's one of the most sought after left backs right now from a Premier League perspective. He's a really good left back. They got a good Premier League goalkeeper, experienced goalkeeper in Brent Leno. Good couple good forwards in Munez and Raul Jimenez. I like Iwobi for their attacking midfield. Obviously, our old boy Emil Smith Rowe was there as well. A couple good midfield players. So they've managed to keep most of their side, and I like their team. And they did well last season until they faded towards the end. But again, another good manager in Marco Silva, who I think will keep them afloat. And I think because they managed to have some stability with keeping their team together, I think they'll push on again, and like I wouldn't be surprised when I say overachiever or surprise team. Like if they finish somewhere like ninth or something, or push for eighth, even like that wouldn't surprise me fully, to be honest with you. So Fulham is my overachieving team.
Okay,
Laurent?
so for me, I have Chelsea
Kelsey.
FC. However, We're gonna put surprise like on the side there. I prefer the term overachieving. 'Cause, that is.
Oh God, it's like I knew what you were gonna say, bro. Like, fuck.
Did you know? But yeah, no. I think the world will see. Right once that season closes out, and yeah, now, man, it might even be 100-point season for us.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's move on. Moving on.
Anyways,
That is correct. No, 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 fam.
anyways,
Relax, bro.
You can clip this, bro.
Oh, trust me.
You can clip this. You can do
Trust
whatever.
me.
You can do.
Don't be surprised that this part of the clip, this like 10-15 second monologue of yours will
Hmm
be on the
hmm
Instagram story tomorrow, you know? I'm not even
Y'all,
lying to
y'all
you.
do that. Y'all do that. Just remember, bro. I kept that same tone, that same energy when it came to
Nah, fam.
the
That's at
whole
100 points, bro.
Club World Cup, right? But I honestly believe, right? Like
Oh my god.
our
Fam, did you hear
defense.
what you just said? You
I
think
did.
that Chelsea's gonna pull a Centurions potentially?
I did. And mind you, I think it's for one on the offense, we are scary. And on the defensive end as well, we've polished, we've changed our tune. Truly. Plus, right, with we got some new signings, right? To plug the defense. I think yeah. I honestly think we can win like the
can,
amount of games required
can I just
to
remind you of one thing? And
yeah,
I'm
yeah, go.
being serious.
Yeah.
This cohort of players have never played 2 games in a week.
And
You,
that's why yeah, go on.
you understand the significance of that, right?
Of
Two
the
high pressure games in a week. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being dead serious because we saw what happened to Newcastle, right? We saw what
but
happened to
but the
Arsenal the first.
the Newcastle situation was quite different. I swear they had like their whole lineup was gone. They were calling players from the reserves or from their B team, no, to play during that season, right? When they were in the
Yeah,
Champions League.
but I'm just saying
Yeah, but Chelsea,
that's
I'm saying the depth that Chelsea has. Like I said, I mentioned the keyword. We have players for multiple positions,
you're right. No,
which
you're right. But again, this
mhm.
cohort of players have never played 2 games in a week. A Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday, or Sunday, Tuesday, Saturday. And this manager has never been able to has not even done that. So it's one thing for you to say they're going to win the league. By all means, hey, say it with your chest. But to disrespect, it's almost like saying, "Oh, Chelsea going to be invincible." No, no,
Yeah,
no.
I was waiting for him to say that
Nope,
next.
I
If he
never,
said that, I would
no,
turn
no,
off
no,
the
no,
stream.
no.
I
But I'm
would
saying,
leave this
but I'm
this
saying,
chat right
I
now.
never said that.
no, no,
Never,
no. I know, but I'm
never
just
said
saying,
that.
I'm not a City fan, but I think it's disrespectful to say
I agree
like
fully.
this iteration of Chelsea are gonna be Centurion. Winning
Yeah,
the league
that's
by all means, bro, say, but like you genuinely think you guys are gonna be Centurions?
I genuinely believe
Wow.
in the
Okay.
hearts, in the hearts of hearts.
So then let me ask you this. So your manager of the year is Enzo Maresca?
Yes, yes. How'd you
Okay.
know?
Because that's the next one.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, we don't need an explanation because you just explained it why Enzo's gonna be the manager of the year.
hmm
Um, for me, I mean, you guys should be able to guess it. David Moyes,
Mm.
manager of the year, for obvious reasons, which I've already explained. Um, CJ.
Arnie Slot again. Sorry.
I hope when I ask you this next question, you have better names because I'm starting to question if that jersey needs to be worn on you.
I just keep it real, man. I like to be honest with the people, then, man.
Fucking so pessimistic, bro. Um, all right, let's get to the team related predictions. What we'll do is because there's 2 Arsenal fans and one Chelsea fan, we'll do one of us will do the Arsenal ones, then Chelsea, and then finish it off with an Arsenal one. CJ, if it's okay with you, I'll just
Yeah, yeah,
start
for
with the
sure.
Arsenal. So we're going to be predicting for both Arsenal and Chelsea, player of the year, top goal scorer, and surprise performer, overachieving player of the year. For me, player of the year again. I said it for the Premier League. I'm going to say it for Arsenal again. Declan Rice. I think if we are going to make it over the line, he needs to have that year. And having a player like Martin Zubimendi beside him to release him for him to go forward. I think that again, Declan Rice is he's proven it. He's done it. He's done it for West Ham. He carried West Ham. He almost carried us when we didn't
Hmm.
have a Kai Havertz, when we didn't have a Saka. He was the leader. He's the unsung hero. Um, Top goal scorer. Um, CJ, you're not gonna like this one, but in the Premier League, um, I'm gonna say Kai
No,
Havertz.
no, my days.
I'm gonna say Kai Havertz. I think,
Wait, what?
yeah,
You have him scoring higher than Gyökeres?
yep. In the
That's
Prem, we're talking
crazy.
about in the Prem.
That's
Yeah, but don't
crazy.
you expect Gyökeres to start most games in the Prem?
Yeah, there's also that.
I do not, and I might
Are you
be
saying this is
wrong.
what you want, or this is
No,
what?
no, 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 no. This is what I'm predicting.
Okay,
This is not what I want. But even if Gyökeres is starting more, I do believe that it might be like a pit bull and then sending the next guy in. And, when the pit bull's done everything, the next guy comes in and he's going to be able to bang in a goal in extra injury time or the last 10, 15 minutes when the players are tired.
Bro,
Uh,
that's the thing, man. If I did all of that to come to this club, I'm not selling for that. Whatever you described there. I'm making sure that ball's going into the back of the net each game
you're
until
not
the Met
wrong. You're
until
not wrong. You're not wrong. And I hate that I'm predicting this,
mm,
but it's something that I genuinely do believe. And I think when we teased it a little bit earlier, that I think Arteta is going to have to change his game style a little bit. I do think we might see. I'm confident that we're going to get an Eze over the line, and I do think that,
really? You think
yeah,
we're gonna get Eze?
yeah,
Like even with how close these links are with him
yes,
in Spurs? Like
yes.
you're
He's
hearing all that
he's an
shit today?
Arsenal fan through and through. He doesn't want to go to. He would rather stay and play for Oliver Glasner than go to Spurs.
You think so? No, I
Yeah.
think if we don't come in for him, he's gone to Spurs.
Well, again, my prediction. I
Okay,
think
fair,
I
fair,
think
yeah.
that's my thought process.
Mm.
If he's an Arsenal fan and he played in the academy, he knows what that means to go to the dark side. And I think with my prediction of Kai Havertz being a top goal scorer, I do think we'll sometimes see a front three of when we have like a weekend if when we have a midweek game against like a Real Madrid or a Bayern Munich, we'll see a Gyökeres, Saka, and for example, like a Martinelli or an Eze. But then in the weekend, we'll see a Kai, Madueke, Martinelli, or something like that. So that's where I see Havertz getting his goals. And he's had a pretty good goal tally before he was injured.
yeah, wait, okay. What what's gonna be the goal difference between Havertz and Gyökeres? Like, what do you think? Like that goal difference is gonna
Like
be?
2-3,
And how many goals do you think Havertz is gonna?
probably like 13, 14.
And you think that's gonna be our highest Premier League goal scorer?
Yes, because it's
Because
going to
most
be.
people are expecting Gyökeres has to bang like, at least 20.
I don't think he's going to get 20 in the Prem. I think in all competitions, he'll get like 20 to 25, but I don't think he gets 20 in the Prem.
Okay.
So it
I'm
seems
just
like
being
it's
I'm
a
just being real. I'm being real. We're not a team where we score with one player. We have a Saka, we have a Martinelli, we have a Declan Rice, we have a Martin Odegaard. We're going to be chipping in goals and 10, 15 goals from Kai Havertz. I do think it's going to be the highest because we're going to get another 10 to 15 from Gyökeres. We spray it around. We're going to get corner FC, right? We're going to have a Gabriel. We're going to have a Timber putting in a couple. We're gonna have a Saliba. So it's that's just again, that's my prediction, right? Like I genuinely do believe that this is gonna happen. It's not just me saying this to have some clout and be like, oh, I'm gonna make say something to what's it called? Um, get some like clickbait. But then again, it also comes to my surprise player, surprise performer of the year, which again, it's Kai Havertz. I think everyone's expecting him to roll over. Everyone's expecting him to just, close up shop and prepare for next summer and to leave the club. And I think he's going to turn a lot of heads. I think prior to his injury, he actually almost won you over, CJ, because he was playing well. And you were actually annoyed that he got injured.
Yo, this is crazy, bro.
Fam,
If
that's
Ar
what I'm saying. There's a lot to
if
clip up this
yo,
episode.
if Arsenal win the league off the back of Kai Havertz being the top goal scorer, bro, like, and I don't want to hear no Chelsea because yo, we gave you
I've
that.
never said it. I've never said it.
Yo,
I've been
this
I've
is
been
No,
a Kai
Mehrdad loves
truther.
Havertz. Trust me, from
I've been
time.
a Kai truther. I see the potential in there. I see why we use him.
mm,
I've never said a bad word about Kai. The one thing I do agree with CJ though is that 65 million that we spent at that time, I would have loved it to be for an out and out number nine. But again,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Now we got him, and now you're still bigging up Havertz over him. Now you're thinking that Havertz is gonna still be the guy over him, which is kind of
because I think Gyökeres has been brought in to help us get us over the line in Europe.
really.
And I think we will use him in the Prem, but I think if Arteta's rotating properly and he's keeping everybody fresh, I do think there may be a 60-40 or like a 50 like a 70-30 split of like Premier League games, right? And I think Kai is like he's beefed up, he's ready for the season. And who knows?
Is that what you would do?
Is that what I would do rotating? 100%. I would do a 60-40 split, Gyökeres, Havertz.
Okay, because some of this sounds like it's also coming from emotion and from the heart, what you want to do. Because for me, Gyökeres starts every game, every game.
Gyökeres starts every single Champions League game, yeah. But in the Prem, I would try to
But are
see
we not trying to win both of those competitions? So don't you want to start your gunman, your main gunman, in two main competitions?
I agree with you, but I would rather when the time matters, I'd rather have him rather than burn him out from August to December. I'd rather have him firing in all cylinders when we get to, at March, April, May, when those games are knockout games. That's why
wait,
in the ear
yeah, go on.
that's why in the early season, I would love to see a rotation when we have those early round Carabao Cup games, those early round FA Cup games, right? Like, yes, I would love the rotation.
Wait, so now let's see, Gyökeres just starts off firing from the jump,
Hmm.
on fire, in
Hmm.
form. Do you still do that rotational? Like if the guy's like performing, like like almost like a Holland first season type thing. Like,
Hmm.
do you still do that?
It would be more difficult, but I would definitely try to keep him from getting injured. Maybe I wouldn't take him out every week, but again, I'm talking about a 60-40 split,
Mm.
right? So if you have like 3-4 weeks where we're playing like a Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, of course there's going to be one or two Prem games that he's not going to start.
Yeah, but that's crazy, bro. If a man's doing this as a celebration, bro, that guy must be like,
Yeah, but again, we
like
talked
a like a Bane, bro. Like, nah, there's no injuries there, bro.
yeah,
Like,
but we talked about it like, a little bit earlier in the pod. Like we have to stay headed and even keel. Him,
yeah, true.
him scoring, 30, 40 goals. What if that turns out to us just finishing second? Because when it really matters, right? When it really matters, he's injured or he doesn't have the legs to continue to push when we're, you know, in April and we have to win the last 5 games to win the Prem, or we have to beat a PSG in the second leg and we have to have him, ready to go to score a goal for us in that moment, right?
I feel like you just
That's
described Salah's season last season, where it was hot, and then those games where they needed him feels like, yeah, man, heavy legs, don't know, like, and then
that's why I'm saying like as much as CJ, I agree with you. I would love to play him, but these players aren't robots. Like I think Arteta learned from last year. You have to have a rotation. You can't. So I don't know. That's my prediction. Before we go back to CJ with his Arsenal prediction, Laurent, what say you for Chelsea? Player of the year, top goal scorer, and surprise player.
so Cole Palmer for Player of the Year,
Okay.
Chelsea, for obvious reasons. Top goal scorer, I have João Pedro, but honestly, man, with the way the lap is going, yo, it could go either way, man. Or yeah, we can even tie. Like, if I'm being completely honest, man. Like these guys, It seems like the lap is really taking note. Like,
He's been playing well.
bro, like it's like when he gets his chance, he's really like, like you see what I'm saying? Like a guy wants to not
To
be
prove a
second
point.
string. Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. So that's good to see for sure. And then surprise performer, Estavia. Um, I think
Oh
that
yeah,
that
it's a
game,
good one.
yeah, that game he had, he
Mhm.
really showed his colors. They even put him in the 10 position, and that guy was playing naturally there too. Started off in the wing, and then you switch him in 10. You know what I mean? Like second half. Like, come on, man, you don't see that. Where do you see that? I'm asking you guys, like, where do you see that? Like, where do you see that being done? Where players are legit being taken from one position like that, they're being thrown, and they look almost like that's their natural position. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, man. So that's yeah,
Declan
that's
Rice can do that, by the way. But yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
yeah, no. I mean, but it's you see, right? It's more so rare than it is, right? Because
No, I get it. Yeah, I get what you're
yeah, bro,
saying.
like a player like Mbappe is out here complaining about being put on the left. And he's supposed to be the world class, right? The best striker in the world, right? So yeah, no, and it shows, bro. Like they're being coached well, and they're receptive to the coaching, and you always want to see that, especially in young players. So yeah, I give it to him if he keeps performing that way.
All right, CJ, don't let us down.
Yeah, man. For me, I'll run through these as quickly as possible here. So my player of the year is a certain Bukayo Saka. That's just the guy, man. We can't even call him Star Boy anymore. He's a whole ass grown man now, especially with the young boys that are coming in behind him, Ethan Wanyeri and Max Dowman. Those are the new Star Boys. Saka's a man now, bro. Saka's a man, and he has to be the man now. I'm saying this, saying this with my chest too. Saka, you're my player of the year. You've been sort of Arsenal's best player, poster boy for the last few years now. He's now been, I think, even vice captain behind Odegaard. It's a big season for him. He missed a big chunk of last season, and I think Saka is one of those guys. His mentality is elite, next level. He's gonna want to prove a point this coming season. He came back just in time for the Champions League against Real Madrid last season after his injury. And if you guys remember his interview, where the interviewer asked him about comparing him to the likes of Mbappe and Vinny when we were playing Real Madrid, they asked Saka in the presser and said, do you think at your level, do you think at your you can get to those levels? And he was almost kind of felt disrespected by that, saying, "What do you
Mhm.
mean? Like I'm not at their level already?" Like in his mind, he's at that level. So much so that he tried to do a Panenka penalty in the Bernabeu, where we gave him shit for it because he still scored the goal, and you can tell by his celebration, like the celebration like this in the Bernabeu, like Saka thinks he's him, and he knows he's the guy. He can be the guy, and so all right, bet let's show it this season, and if you can carry us to glory, it'll be justified. So, but yeah, man, he's a consistent performer for us. He's top dog, and yeah, Saka's my player of the year. Top goal scorer. For those who can't see, I'm doing the celebration. Big Vic, Victor Gyökeres. Come on, that's the top goal scorer, 100%. I hear what you boys are saying, or Mehrdad, what you're saying about rotation and this and that. But obviously, respectfully, I'm not having any of it. I have to disagree, man. Like, Laurent asked the question about rotation and do you sit a player out when they're performing. In basketball terms, man, when the rock is hot, when you got the hot hand, you keep feeding that guy the ball. Give me the ball. I'm shooting from three. I'm shooting from half. I'm shooting. When you're hot, you're hot. If Holland was taken out every other Premier League game in his first season when he snapped and broke records and scored, I don't know, 40 goals, whatever ridiculous it was, he wouldn't get those goals if he was being put in that rotational system. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like if he's hot and he's producing, like again, and this is why I asked you. You said Champions League, he'll play Premier League, maybe rotate him. But both of those competitions are as equally as important to us because those are the two majors. Like if we're talking about Carabao Cup and FA Cups and things, like yeah, I'm more so down for the rotation. But Gyökeres came in for a big transfer fee. He's come in with a big reputation. He's spoken a lot himself in the media. He pushed heavily for this move. He's Arsenal's main number nine when everybody has said that Arsenal needs a number nine to get over the line. It's like, all right, bet all the cards now are on the table. That red carpet now is rolled out for Victor Gyökeres to do his thing and for Arsenal to give him the platform to do his thing. And so because the Premier League for me is just as important as the Champions League, it's like, yeah, you play that guy. And I don't know, man, if we went off the basis of rotating guys to keep them fresh for the back end of the season, then we wouldn't see Messi and Ronaldo and the best players. Arteta said it once upon a time too, in terms of when he was being given a little bit of shit about not rotating players. Is he says, do you see Messi get rotated? Do you see Ronaldo get rotated back when they were hot and in their prime? And he's right. The best players typically tend to play in big games because, yes, I understand that you need those players at the back end in April and May when the competitions get hot and it comes to crunch time. But mind you, there's still important games before April and May in the Premier League, especially. We play Man City and Liverpool and those guys in a couple weeks, not in April and May alone, right? There's going to be big games before then. So in order for us to stay in the race and stay in a title race and be competitive, we do need the points before we even get to March, April, May. So Gyökeres, he's playing for me, and he plays for me in all of our big games. And I don't want to judge it based on the basis of, if we start playing players based on the basis of, we want to save you because there could be injuries, this and that, then you do risk dropping results. Because if you don't play your big players in big games, you do definitely risk dropping results. So no, for me, he's going to play and he's going to be, our top goal scorer. Those are just my reasons. And yeah, big season for him. And then my surprise player of the year or overachieving player of the year, it was going to be Christian Mascara. At first, I had him as our new center back signing, but I wanted to quickly change that because I think that this player I'm going to name will be the player that's going to surprise a lot of people, and I'm going with Christian Norgard. No, not Nani Madueke. Christian Norgard is who I'm going with. I think Christian Norgard is going to surprise a lot of people because there was again a lot of doubt about the signing. Because he, comes from Brentford and, he may not even be as good as a Jorginho and whatever, and he doesn't play our style of play. But I think he'll be good enough. I wasn't even fully behind that signing. I still think we needed something stronger, but I do think when he plays, he is going to surprise a lot of people.
Christian Norgard, wow.
Yeah. I think he will surprise a
That's
lot of
the
people.
last person I thought you were gonna say.
No, Noni should be the last person you thought I was going to say.
Don't kill me. Damn.
But yeah, man, that's who I think. No, Christian Norgard, I think when he plays, he's going to surprise people.
Wait, no Dalman? Like, I swear he got called up to the first team, no? On officially for the Premier League.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah,
But
he's on the roster.
So you guys don't think he's gonna surprise at all or overachieve?
I don't think he's gonna play as much as.
Really? Because bro, like funny enough, that preseason to me, he's the only player that seemed
that showed up. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
from an
like
attacking sense.
yeah, and then we just talked about like if a player's hot, give him the rock. Like you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's young, but if he performs like that, like let's say right, the moment he comes in and he keeps doing that, like
No,
to
I
me,
agree.
yeah, that's the guy that's like holy shit, like you know what I'm saying? Like now you're doing this like a season, right? Like, but yeah, no. I do have a question though, in regards to your player of the year, um, the star man, I guess we'll call him, because you said he's no longer a boy, but I'd like to know what would his stats need to be for you to give him that player of the year, like goals and assists.
Probably a double, like double figures in goals and assists. Again, we're talking basketball terms here, but that's pretty much what he tends to put up, right? Like he's pretty consistent. He's not only good on the eye test, Saka, but he has end product. That's why we separate him from the Noni Maduekes, funny enough, and Nicholas Pepe's that we've had in the past, like those kind of players. That's what separates Saka from some of these other wingers out there. There's a lot more players who, let's be honest, look more silky and more flashy and more easy on the eye in terms of like street baller wingers that we like over Saka, right? Like guys who have more skill, more flair, who will beat you one on one, who will cross you, come back and cross you again. We like a lot of us like those kind of wingers. Saka isn't necessarily that kind of winger, but what he has end product, right? And Saka will always deliver you end product. You can rely on him more often than not to either deliver a goal or an assist in a game and in a big game, right? And end product is the name of the game, really and truly, right? That's what affects results. It's not only a skills competition, right? We play the game for results, and goals and assists is what heavily affects results. And I think that he always delivers on that front. And so I think for what that would look like for me is double figures in goals and assists. Bro, the guy, he was out for again how many months last season? Like 3-4 months, and I think he was still in the top three of assists behind Salah and one other, I think. and the guy was out for 4 months, and he was still up there by the end of the season in terms of most assists in the Prem. He's been breaking numbers that way for the last few years in terms of goals and assists and getting double figures in both goals and assists. So he would have to do that again, replicate that again in order for me to like I think that's what that kind of season would look like for him. If he's going to be player of the season, he's getting double figures in both goals and assists.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's our predictions for the Prem. So we teased it last week with our prediction series. So we're gonna do 3 predictions. So we got the Arsenal game, the Chelsea game, and the other big game of the weekend when I was looking at the fixtures is Villa Newcastle. There's a couple other games like Liverpool start with Bournemouth, Spurs host Burnley, but I think the like Wolves welcome City. Like I don't think those are those big games. Um, so again, as a reminder, you just pick the winner, either a winner or tie. Um, and the winner this year gets a jersey paid by the other 2 hosts. In an event of a tie, the person who's not involved in the tie does a what's it called? Oh my God, a trivia. And whoever wins that trivia is the winner. CJ, you will get your prize, so you don't need to cry about it, bro. You don't need to mean mug. You'll
Hell
get your
yeah, I will get
prize
my
this
prize.
Sunday. Um, there's a
Yo,
limit.
what if is there an option for a three-way tie? Like at the end of the season, let's say, like if
If
is
there's
it
a
possible to
three-way
do three?
tie, then we'll come
Deal
up
with it. Yeah.
we'll deal with it as it comes. Um, so given that you were the winner last year, CJ, would you like to start or would you like to go last?
Uh,
Laurent,
yeah.
don't
This
shake your head. Let's do this so that we keep the mean mugging out of this. I like when CJ's smiling and in a good mood. Because if CJ's in the other mood, he just comes in trying to fucking rob us, bro. I don't, you know.
Bro, we've been robbed, bro. Like, what do
Yeah,
you mean?
I know, but like I'm just trying to foreshadow what's anyway.
what does
Um,
that mean, Laurent? What the fuck about even Rob? But no, no. You know what? I won't start. I will not start. How about
all
that?
right, Laurent, between you and I, who would you like
Bro,
to
this guy is
start?
so dramatic, bro. Like, what? Bro,
Bro, it's not even that serious.
I
I
could have
changed
told
my
you.
mind. I changed
I,
my mind.
I could have told you he wasn't starting, but this guy's out here, stroking his beard, like thinking God knows what.
I know we're not even predicting fucking scores. We're just predicting a winner. Laurent, do you want to start or would you like me to start?
I'll go.
Okay. So do your predictions for all 3. So the United game, Chelsea and Villa.
Um, Villa,
Okay.
I think is gonna edge Newcastle.
Okay.
Chelsea
Of
is gonna
course.
edge Palace, and then I think it's gonna be a tie.
Okay. Respectable.
Yeah, why'd you do that face, bro? Like you
Because
thought
I
I was
thought
gonna
I
like
thought you
drop
were
the
gonna say
hammer.
something stupid. I thought you were gonna say something stupid.
Bro, did no
Um
one catch? Oh man, I wish people saw the face he made, bro. Like, yeah,
Wait, who?
yeah, Mehrdad.
Oh,
um
you guys want to do a scores, eh? Like for the Arsenal game at least, or no?
no. We're not gonna change up the rules and then if something happens, you can be like, oh, we changed the rule. No. We came up with the no,
All right, all right.
no.
It'll benefit y'all, but all right,
No,
that's
no,
fine.
no, no, that's all good.
Huh.
So again, I got Villa, I got Chelsea, and I got the Arsenal winning against United.
Hmm. See what I mean? I feel like without the scores, it's gonna be a lot of like basic, boring answers. Like to be honest with you, I have the exact same as you. Like it's easy to say, but hey, if that's how we want to rock with it, I'm cool with it. I have the exact same. I have Villa, I have Chelsea, and then I have Arsenal winning as well. So
But you realize we're predicting a lot of games,
mm.
so that's why it's you know,
I think for the Arsenal game, we should get an extra point maybe for getting the correct result.
yeah, but then that's not fair to Laurent.
Why? He's not an idiot. He knows the game.
Yeah, but then would he not get an extra point for predicting the Chelsea game, right?
No, like we say, like the Arsenal game weekly, because we are the Gunners Corner, is the one game that we predict like the score as well. You know what I mean? As well as predicting like the winner. So you
No, no,
predict the
I know, I
score
get
for an
it, but
extra
like
point.
I also want to keep it fair for Laurent, you know? I don't want to make it biased because we know our team better than he knows our team, and similarly, he knows.
Fam, when we were predicting results last season, I swear you Laurent finished on the same points as you. Like, you're acting like the
I'm
man
just,
doesn't.
yeah, I'm just
What do
trying
you
to,
mean, bro?
you
You're acting
know,
like the man doesn't know
bro.
shit.
I'm just trying to be Switzerland here, bro. I'm just trying to be Switzerland.
But yeah, no, no, all good, all good. I just wanted to pop that out there, but it's
Well,
all good.
see what happens, bro, Laurent? If we give him an inch, he takes a mile. Fuck's sakes, this man.
I was just
Um,
trying to help everyone out. I think it's more fun that way, but hey, what do I know? I only won last season, right? What do I
oh
know?
my fucking stop with this
That's
nonsense.
crazy.
Anyways, that's a pod. A little bit of a longer one. So we apologize, but we don't apologize at the same time because there was a lot of stuff to go through. We had to go through it. A lot of big talking points, a lot of clips that hopefully you'll see in YouTube Shorts or Instagram Shorts. We'll be back Sunday night. Well, you'll see it Monday, but we'll be back Sunday night recording. Um, yeah, I'll leave the last word for you two fellows.
The Prem is back, people. Yes, fucking finally. To all the Arsenal fans, hope you enjoyed your summer off and rested and recovered, relaxed, went on vacation, because the next 9 months is going to be a whole heap of hell and stress for us all. So we say we needed the break, right? After last season, then the break comes, and then you miss watching the Arsenal. Well, be careful what you wish for because the Arsenal is back. So prepare for stress levels to increase. Go see your doctor if you need to in the interim. You know, get your gallons of water in and buckle up because it's gonna be a long one. Pause. But yeah, like and subscribe. We'll be here.
No Diddy.
No Diddy whatsoever, people. Like and subscribe.
Oh fuck.
We'll be here.
Laurent, you wanna end it off with
Honestly, bro, just something very subtle this time. Yeah, no. Thanks for tuning in. Much love to everyone that's listening. Um, I've been robbed. We've been robbed. I got to acknowledge that before this Sunday. Make sure anytime you enter competition, you get things signed. You know, you formalize things, or else this happens, and then you end up owing other people for things that you really shouldn't be owing them. So yeah, see you this Sunday, CJ.
Can't wait, bro.
Yeah.
all right. Adios.